Oh, good morning. It's time for another unboxing video. At long last, I have the Zenfone 10. Of course, I have not been sent this as a phone freebie, so this is going to be my actual phone. Obviously, I'm not going to be like the people that have had this phone sent to them for free, because they'll just give it back again after a couple of weeks' use and attempt to tell you about what the phone is like to use. But, of course, I do not have a couple of million subscribers to talk utter nonsense. No, I have just a few hundred to speak only facts to. That being said, let me get the cellophane off and I will get this unboxed. Okay, one thing I will say is that it's a little bit dinged up in transit, so it was hard to get this box actually to separate. But it's separated now, so let's have a look what's inside. Another thing I mean to say was that I've not been paid enough money by Samsung to tell you it's not as good as a Samsung. Thought I'd get that extra little dig in there. Okay, first of all, what do we have here? Not the phone itself, of course. I've just destroyed its resale value there in an instant. That was good of me, wasn't it? There's the pin for getting into the tray. Oh, we have another hard case. To be honest, I don't like using these, as some of you may recall from my Zenfone 9 unboxing. It's a nice thought, but I like the gel cases, and especially also because this one doesn't even go all the way around the bottom or the top. The gel cases do. It's a branded proper ASUS one. I'm not a fan of their new logo because I like their original logo. They've had it for so long, maybe that's why they thought they need to change it. There's your little helpful stickers for when you come to return it. There's your instruction manual in lots and lots of different languages, I suspect. Yes, it is. It's very comprehensive reading there if you want to start learning French and Portuguese and all sorts of other languages. But there we go, that's what's there. I'm going to save this till the last. There's the phone itself. That's quite heavy for a light phone. A small phone, I should say. What is in here is some more cardboard that they can't get out. And hopefully a charger. Yes, why is that stuck in there? Oh, it's because I was doing it the wrong way. That's clever, isn't it? I must warn you, I have not had much sleep before making this video, but that was inevitable because I was excited because I knew it was coming. There's your lovely UK plug, which not all of you will be using, strangely enough. And here is the charging wire. Now I'm sure you know that that's all there is in the box, by the way. That's your lot. It's mostly cardboard, almost all cardboard, which of course is very impressive in packaging. It's more or less a requirement these days, I would say, to make your packaging as ecologically friendly as possible. Oh, yes, that's the point I wanted to make. There's your charging wire, because as some of you may be aware, there is no such thing as wireless charging. And I will show you that with this picture, this handy picture I'm going to overlay of what I like to call alternative wired charging, because that's exactly what wireless charging is. There is literally no such thing. Unless it's one of those charging pads in a public area. Sorry to burst your bubble, but there's no such thing as wireless charging, as I have just proved. Here is the phone itself. Let me take this bit off and be very happy and excited. Oh my god, it's more difficult to take off than it was with the Zenfone 9, I think. I'll have to rewind and prove that for myself. This is the 512 gigabyte model, which I am very happy about because that's a very generous amount of space for an internal memory. And obviously, sadly, you don't get any expandable memory slot anymore. Not even on ASUS phones. ASUS were one of the last phone companies to hold out, and Sony still has an SD card slot, which is a real selling point, because I don't know if these phone companies have actually spotted, but the more you up the resolution and detail in your photos, and especially your videos, with some of them shooting 8K, well, the file sizes aren't going to be getting any smaller, are they? So, unfortunately, you're stuck with a problem that they don't want to admit exists. Let's do a little turn on here. See how much juice we've got. It's got the Snapdragon, what is it? Generation 8 plus 2. I can't remember off the top of my head, because I have not had much sleep. I know I'm such a professional. Ooh. Now, I'm not going to read any single so-called review of this phone until I've tried it for a bit, because I already know exactly what they're going to say. I could reel off a little list. Let me think now. They're going to say, not sufficient improvements over last year's phone, even though pretty much all they were asking for last year was wireless charging, and it's now got wireless charging. They're going to say, yes, not enough improvements, even though they've improved the only thing that most of them were moaning about. There's a charging port there. It's heavier, I'm sure, than the Zenfone 9. They were making a point about the grippy back. Do people grip the backs of their phone? I'm not sure they do. I think you grip the sides of your phone, don't you? Well, I do anyway. Improved stabilization, they say, but it is the same sensor. But that's quite a bump in internal memory, that's for sure, and I should be okay with that. That was my unboxing. Quite chaotic, I know. Lots of editing required to cut out all my misspeaks and fumblings and stuff. But hope you've enjoyed, because I'm very happy that I have my Zenfone 10. I've been waiting a long time for it. I truly think that in 2023 there are two phone companies in the Android market that are exciting and interesting. One is Sony, the other is ASUS. Samsung, of course, I'm not on their payroll like most tech journalists are, like on Tech Radar and Android Authority. And they won't be coming after me with legal action, because they know that's true. I would like to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time with maybe a little update on my Zenfone 10.